Friends, this is a most important update from SGT Report. Their evil knows no bounds. We'll begin this massive and detailed update where we left off on the last one, with the words of former prosecutor Sidney Powell about the persecution of Brett Kavanaugh by the Democrat mafia.
I really feel for him and his whole family, and I think a lot of the country does too. And we're seeing that there is absolutely no bottom to the depths the Democrats will go to try to regain power and block his appointment to the Supreme Court.
Let's dice the words of Hawaii Senator Mazie Hirono as she attempts to reduce Brett Kavanaugh to nothing more than an unhinged conspiracy theorist.
He accused the Democratic senators of coordinating a plot to sabotage his nomination. Clearly, he was speaking to an audience of one, President Trump. A nominee for the Supreme Court so rattled that he would buy into a vast conspiracy theory is astounding and dangerous.
We'll hear more from Mazie in a moment, but let's address just a few of the facts that point directly at what does appear to be a far-reaching conspiracy among Democrats to assassinate the character of Brett Kavanaugh. First, the leak. On the eve before the confirmation vote, Ford's unsubstantiated and unprovable allegations, which Dianne Feinstein knew of for weeks, were made public in the effort to derail the vote. It worked. And although none of the witnesses Ford named to back her fuzzy 36-year-old claims say they recall any such event, the live broadcast of the persecution of Brett Kavanaugh commenced.
Are you aware that the three people at the party besides yourself and Brett Kavanaugh have given statements under penalty of felony to the committee?
Yes.
And are you aware of what those statements say?
Yes.
Are you aware that they say that they have no memory or knowledge of such a party?
Yes.
So let's return to Hawaii Senator Democrat Mazie Hirono as she quotes Brett Kavanaugh.
Let's not forget his exact words. Judge Kavanaugh said, and I quote, "This whole 2-week effort," he said, "has been a calculated and orchestrated political hit fueled with apparent pent-up anger about President Trump and the 2016 election, fear that had been unfairly stoked about my judicial record, revenge on behalf of the Clintons, and millions of dollars in money from outside left-wing opposition groups."
Let's pause. Revenge by the Clintons. Now let's go back to the hearings.
Just a couple cleanup questions. First of all, which of your two lawyers did Senator Feinstein's office recommend?
The Katz.
I'm sorry?
The Katz firm.
Okay.
The Katz firm, recommended to Christine Ford by Democrat Dianne Feinstein, a longtime and close ally of Democrat Hillary Clinton. The same Deborah Katz pictured here with Hillary Clinton several years ago. And yes, Snopes has tried to debunk the photo, claiming that the woman trailing Clinton in this photo is not Katz, but rather one Barbara Kinney. Snopes, always eager to run to the aid of the New World Order criminals in their official stories. But as Neon Revolt notes, compare photos of Kinney and Katz. Look at their noses. One is bulbous, the other sharp, thin, and angled. Compare. The woman in that 2016 photo definitely resembles Deborah Katz. Q-Post, 2295, September 28th. Dee's Playbook, Midterm Election. Impeach Justice Kavanaugh if they take control in November, despite zero corroborating evidence and all factual witnesses provided by accuser. All denied allegations. Liberal left lunacy. These people are evil, sick, and stupid. You are witnessing the systematic destruction of the old guard. Old guard. Power to the people.
Today, we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another, or from one party to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people.
Promises are being kept, but let's return to the Democrats' favorite weapon, #MeToo. Sexual assault. Allegations, no matter how many decades old, no matter how many witnesses refute the claims, must always be believed because, well, me too. Women are good, men are bad, And CNN just happened to be in the right place at the right time to catch the moment Senator Jeff Flake was cornered on an elevator and berated by two women who claimed to be sexual assault survivors.
Look at me when I'm talking to you. You're telling me that my assault doesn't matter, that what happened to me doesn't matter, and that you're going to let people who do these things into power. That's what you're telling me when you vote for him.
Here's the problem. The women who were screaming at Senator Jeff Flake in that elevator are Soros-funded activists. The Gateway Pundit identifies them as Maria Gallagher and Anna Maria Archila, and they celebrated after Senator Flake argued for a delay in the Kavanaugh vote pending an FBI investigation. You see, friends, Me Too has been weaponized. If they can't beat you in the field of ideas, they will assassinate your character, lie, cheat, bear false witness, or simply filibuster about being assaulted. Hashtag men are evil. As Laura Ingraham tweeted, Soros strikes again. Flake, Scream assault victim, is a co-executive director of the Soros-funded left-wing group Center for Democracy and Center for Democracy Action Fund. And, as Gateway Pundit notes, activist leader Anna Maria Archila has nothing on her Twitter about being a victim, but she does have loads of information on being an activist leader. And Archila led the elevator ambush on Jeff Flake last Friday. CNN continued to report on the heroics and courage of those two women on Sunday afternoon, but of course, omitted their ties to Soros-backed activism entirely. Me Too has been weaponized, and it's not the credibility of the accuser or any specific evidence supporting allegations that's important to the Mockingbird mainstream media. It's just the allegations alone. Me Too allegations are the neutron bomb in the lunatic left's depleted arsenal. Allegations alone enough to penetrate the armor of good men, designed to poison the well of public opinion and cast doubt on 30-year records of integrity. Never mind that the third Brett Kavanaugh accuser was sued in 2000 for false allegations of sexual misconduct. You heard that right. Julie Swetnick was sued in the year 2000 for making false allegations of sexual misconduct against co-workers and for sexual misconduct of her own, though the case was dismissed. This woman, who claims she was present at high school gang rapes, alleges that Brett Kavanaugh was there as well, though she provides zero corroborating evidence. And like Stormy Daniels, Swetnick is represented by creepy porn lawyer Michael Avenatti. Another thing President Donald Trump and Brett Kavanaugh have in common. Seeing a pattern? Let's revisit the words of Senator Mazie Hirono.
Judge Kavanaugh said, and I quote, "This whole 2-week effort," he said, "has been a calculated and orchestrated political hit, fueled with apparent pent-up anger about President Trump and the 2016 election. Fear that had been unfairly stoked about my judicial record, revenge on behalf of the Clintons, and millions of dollars in money from outside left-wing opposition groups."
You are allowing someone who is unwilling to take responsibility for his own actions respond in the higher court of the country.
I'll wrap this up with just a few paragraphs from neonrevolt.com. The truth is this: there is no depth the lunatic leftists won't sink to, and the fact that this still surprises so many, in fact, surprises me. What's missing from most people's understanding is that the Kavanaugh confirmation is a declaration of war against the deep state. Kavanaugh represents an existential threat to their established order. Remember what he said to Lindsey Graham during the initial hearings about military law applying to U.S. citizens who helped foreign states to try and subvert or overthrow the U.S. government?
Isn't there also a long-settled law that it goes back to the Eisentrager case? I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, Johnson versus Eisentrager.
Right. That American citizens who collaborate with the enemy have considered enemy combatants.
They can be. They can be. They're sometimes criminally prosecuted, sometimes treated in the military.
Well, let's talk about can be. I think
under Supreme Court precedent.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a Supreme Court decision that said that American citizens who collaborated with Nazi saboteurs were tried by the military. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I think a couple of them were executed.
Yeah.
You think that applies to Feinstein and her Chinese buddies? Is it any wonder she conjured her witness and this story out of the ether? Feinstein's head is literally on the chopping block here. all of their heads are. It shouldn't shock anyone that they're pulling out all the stops here, but it's even more nefarious than that. It's not just an effort to assassinate the character of Brett Kavanaugh, who, by the way, has already endured no less than 6 background checks by the FBI. It's an effort to discredit every single white male Republican sitting in that room. It's an attack on all fronts. My friends, Me Too has been weaponized. It is the neutron bomb in their depleted arsenal. Q-Post 2297, September 29th. Twitter has been given the green light to blanket censor all content deemed to threaten their survival. Election. Google, Facebook will follow. Expect Com's blackout attempt, POTUS Twitter, rogue employee excuse. Welcome to the police state. They know if they lose, it's over. The time to fight is now. Good versus evil. Humanity is at stake. Drop the memes, silent majority, no more. Be loud. You have a voice. Are you registered? Vote them all out. Prepare. Red October. We stand together. And Q-Post 2299, September 30th. Red October. Justice K confirmation. Goodbye, Mr. Rosenstein. Payment in full. Flake's decision came after he spoke to senators of both parties and withstood pressure from some Republicans not to take such a step. As he considered his course of action, Flake also had a conversation with Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who is in charge of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation. Define treason. The crime of betraying one's country, especially by attempting to kill the sovereign or overthrow the government. Define subversion. The act of subverting, the state of being subverted, especially a systematic attempt to overthrow or undermine a government or political system by persons working secretly from within. Think line of questions. Senator Graham to Justice Kavanaugh. Enemy combatants. 1-800-273-8255. My friends, that's the number for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Operators standing by. In Q-Post 2300, September 30th. Red October. Stay tuned and watch. Q. Friends, thanks so much for tuning in. For real news 24/7, visit us at sgtreport.com. God bless.
I would love to know what Uma was told to tell him, because they can't use the regular forms of communication anymore because everything is being listened to. So really, really exciting times in the battle between good guys and bad guys.